Hi, this is Dr. Grande. I hope you find this video useful. If that's the case, please like it and subscribe to my channel. As always, thanks for watching. Hi Susan, how you doing today?
I'm okay.
You okay? I know that when you saw me last time, you were going through a bit of a struggle. How are things going with that?
It's still a struggle.
Yeah.
I'm planning a surprise party for my husband.
Okay.
And his mother doesn't talk to me.
So you're planning a surprise party for your husband. His mom doesn't talk to you.
No.
That must make things tense.
Really tense.
Really tense.
Yeah. So she doesn't really try to interact with her grandkids or me. And the way I was raised is the matriarch is going to, make all attempts to, keep the family connected. So I try to call her and let the kids talk to her, but she won't answer her phone. And now with the party coming up, I would like her to be there, but she's not responding.
And just so I can get a little bit of background to understand, is this relationship new, or this dynamic new, or you've been part of this family for a while?
Yeah. We've been married for 5 years and dating for about 11. But we dated in the past and, parted ways and then came back together later.
And this dynamic with his mother not talking to you, that's been the whole time?
Yeah, she, so when I got pregnant with my first daughter before we got married, and he was away at school. So she felt that I was trying to interrupt his studies and trap him. So she's been, she disapproved of the relationship from the beginning. For the wedding, she had insight and she kind of just took over my wedding.
Like in terms of organizing it?
Yeah. So
you're saying that she disapproves, and that she felt as though you were trying to trap her son. How did you come by this information?
Well, when I was pregnant, she told me.
She told you? Okay. So it's not something that you were reading into it or guessing. It was fairly direct.
Yeah.
And in kind of those words?
Yeah. Yeah, well, I guess not maybe. She kind of said that he's in school, he's not ready for a kid, and suggested that I have an abortion.
So she made that suggestion to you and made it clear that she disapproved of the whole relationship? Or just the timing?
I think it's my feelings is the whole relationship, because because now he graduated, he has a great job, we have 3 kids, he's able to do whatever he wants to do, and she's still behaving the same way, so I would think it's the whole relationship.
So you feel as though your relationship with him has been productive for you, for him, for the children? Like it's been a success?
No.
No? You don't feel that way? You feel it's been a failure?
Some aspects, I guess. I really believe in family. My family's not here. So I think it's really important that the family I'm a part of is together. So if I'm the cause that this family is not together, it's really hurtful.
Right, so you're really hurt by all this, and you feel like all these relationships, none of them have been productive and successful. So this has been anxiety-provoking, frustrating, sad. And how long have you been in this, with these emotions, with the anxiety and sadness?
I'll say like maybe the last, like maybe 3 years.
So 3 years you've been suffering this.
Yeah.
This way.
Yeah. Because we tend to end up in like the same mix of like people and activities, and she treats us, or she treats me like I'm not even there. And then there's the kids that's just, I don't know what to say to them.
So she treats you poorly, like you're not there. She doesn't interact much with the kids or at all.
Right.
And how about with your husband, with their son?
Well, I guess they still need him for stuff. So he can like talk to them. They'll talk to him. He still pays like for her daughter, his little sister, like phone bill. And she's an adult and she lives with her mom. So they still depend on her for certain things.
And you feel as though that's why there's still communication?
Yeah.
Otherwise, what would happen?
I think he's also kind of dependent on them.
It goes both ways.
Yeah, because I kind of feel like there's no way he doesn't see how she behaves and knows how she behaves, and I don't feel that he is receptive to my pain.
So you've conveyed to him that you have pain. And this is you haven't. So he doesn't know what's going on?
Well, no. So she, at one point in time, I think, said something to him about when I was pregnant the first time, which was kind of like insight into her feelings about what was going on. And I think he kind of just like brushed it off, like she was just being a mom kind of situation. But he has to be aware of his kids don't go over there. She doesn't call them. I had an incident where it was Grandparents' Day. So I suggested to him that he, take the kids over there and like call her and just kind of like, celebrate Grandparents' Day, And so he came back and it's like, his mom said, "Oh, this must have been Susan's idea." Like, what does that mean?
So you're sensing a lot of hostility, but there haven't been, lately anyway, a lot of direct conversations.
Well, I tried to call her regarding a party, and I called like, I guess like every day for like maybe a week, and when she finally answered the phone, she just said, "Susan, stop calling me," and hung up the phone.
Oh, so that's fairly direct.
Yeah.
So there has been that. Do you have any evidence? Is there any evidence that suggests that her behavior is going to change?
I mean, I would want to. I think, if I was to hang in there and be the best parent I can be, maybe eventually she'll want to have a relationship with her grandkids. I'm not really worried about her liking me as much.
You're not worried about that?
Not as much.
Not as much.
Yeah.
with the children.
Yeah.
Okay. So even with that, you hang in there, and it's your hope that she'll come around, that her attitude will change.
Yeah.
But so far, it doesn't sound like she's given you a lot of evidence that, or presented a lot of evidence that that's a likely outcome.
No.
But you can be hopeful, of course.
Yeah.
Right. How about your emotions? You know, the sadness, the anxiety. Is there something? Is that something you want to work on to resolve those, absent of a change in her?
Yeah. Because I think I think it's important to have family, and right now all I want to do is, I think it would be best if we like moved away, like to another state, maybe.
You think it would be better to move away?
Yeah. So I'm wondering if that's just because I'm sad, you know. So maybe if I was to work on my sadness, then maybe I'll feel more okay with being here.
Do you, with all this, you know, with all her disapproval and all these stressors, which sound really tough, I mean, what you've described sounds like a tough scenario, where it would be understandable to be sad and frustrated. Do you feel as though you can move through all this if nothing in her changes? So let's just assume for a second that her behavior will never change. It may, but we don't know that. So let's just run an assumption it is the way it is.
Okay.
Like this is what you're facing.
Okay.
Can you, at some level, be okay with all this in terms of frustration and sadness?
I think so.
Yeah.
I can try.
I mean, is that a goal?
Yeah, because I really can't control her.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
It's not ideal, though.
No.
So the ideal would be if she would warm up to you and engage in the family, kind of as you mentioned before, like in a more inviting role and friendlier and accepting.
Yeah.
That's what you'd like in a kind of in a perfect scenario. There hasn't been much in our discussion here in the way of evidence that seems to lead to that as a conclusion, like that some change is going to occur. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like, again, it could happen. I have no way of knowing. It just doesn't seem likely based on what you've introduced. So that leaves you not on your own, but that leaves you without her as a support to work through all these emotions.
Yeah.
What do you think about when I say that?
I think that it's going to be hard because I do consider how her behavior affects my kids.
Sure.
But I know I probably would have to let go of wanting her approval in order to be a better, more involved parent instead of just kind of allowing myself to stress over that relationship. So if the invite has always been there, she can always engage with the kids. She has contact with her son, so it's not like, I'm stopping her from being involved.
So what you're saying is that desire for approval, that's what's causing these symptoms? That's what's maintaining them?
Yeah.
And that's what you want to be able to let go of, is that desire.
Yeah.
So you have a belief at some level that she must give you approval. There's a belief in there somewhere that reads something like that.
Yeah.
She should give me approval.
Yeah. I think I'm a pretty likable person.
Okay. You're a likable person, right? I would agree. You're a likable person, and it would make sense she should give you approval. That's kind of the belief.
Yes.
And the consequence of that belief, when it meets the reality that she doesn't seem to be giving you approval, is that sadness and frustration and anxiety.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So that belief, the belief that you're a likable person, is realistic, and that seems like a useful belief. But the belief that she should like you, that belief doesn't seem to be serving you as well.
No, it's not.
Doesn't seem to be. Is there another belief that could be substituted in for that kind of, think about that belief as very rigid, right? She should like me. That doesn't leave much room for an alternative. Is there another belief that we could work on to put in place of that may more accurately reflect what's going on?
It's okay if... Okay, so I believe that I'm a likable person,
Mm-hmm.
but it's okay that others might not feel the same.
All right, let's work with that. So I like keeping the I'm a likable person, right? I like keeping that part. So you'd say, I'm a likable person, but it's okay if some people don't see that. So when you play that thought or resonate with that belief, what goes through your mind?
That I can't really force people to like me, or everyone has their own mind and they can make their own decisions, but it doesn't change who I am.
Very good. All right. I agree. So everyone has their own behavior. They're going to do what they're going to do. Sometimes we understand it, sometimes we don't. But it doesn't change your essence as a good person.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Do you believe that new thought? Do you believe it more than the old thought? That she should approve of you? It's close. Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's a bit of a struggle there.
Yeah.
Right? So both beliefs make sense to you
Right.
at the same time. So maybe as we continue to work, we can explore the evidence behind behind each belief,
Okay.
and see if one of those beliefs tends to rise to the top, tends to get more traction.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So this week, so I'll see you again next week. So this week, between session, would it be possible for you to kind of list out all the reasons that you are likable, like to list all your strengths?
Mm-hmm.
Do you know a particular day this week you might be able to do that, or you have time?
I can probably do it when the kids, the two older ones, are in Kumar, so I can do it then while I'm waiting to get out.
Okay. Do you kind of have an idea of the first few items you might put on that list?
I think I'm sensitive.
Mm-hmm.
I'm caring.
Mm-hmm.
I am generous. I am a good mother. I'm a good cook.
Okay, great. So those items, and I hope you'll think of some more. So put those on the list and build that list out. And next week we'll start with that. We'll start by looking at that list, evaluating that evidence, and then we'll start looking at the other part of those beliefs.
Okay.
Does that sound good?
Sounds good.
All right. Thanks, Susan.
All right.